everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Girl You Know What. It is episode 5, and I am your host, Tahir.
And I'm Kisha.
How you doing, girl? How was your week?
It was good.
Good.
All I have to say, it was good.
Yeah, because I know last
I
week.
didn't have any complaints. I didn't have a
Good.
nervous breakdown with the therapist this week, so I feel like that's always a win-win.
Okay. I mean, hey,
Because sometimes you have those weeks.
Oh, you are
Listen,
preaching to the
I
choir.
think the first week or two
Mhm.
that I went to the therapist, I came away from that like, I don't want to be no therapist.
Right.
Like, if I have to sit and talk to people like me all day, every day, I got to rethink all this.
Right.
This is not for me.
Girl, it's a lot. It's a
It'd
lot.
be heavy.
I mean, because you sit here and you just think about your own, issues that you have going on and what you're there to talk about and talk
Mhm.
out things and stuff like that. But then you have to think about it too, especially in your field, like what you do and stuff like that. But it takes a toll. I know it has to take a toll on therapists as well and psychiatrists and psychologists because that's a lot to deal with. Everyone's human. I couldn't imagine.
And I am forever in I know, and she and I, we laugh because I'm forever, I think, in therapy mode with
Right.
other
I could
people.
see that. Yeah.
Even when I'm in therapy,
Mm-hmm.
we're talking and I'm like, how are you?
Right.
How was your week?
Yeah,
And
what's
she
up with
just,
you, girl?
and it's like, and she just kind of laughed. She was like, I'm fine.
Yeah, I mean,
How are you doing? I'm forever in that mode all the time.
Right.
So the first few months, excuse me, I was going every week like clockwork.
Right.
Like, probably had breakdowns for the first 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
But then it leveled out,
Yeah, it's a
And
clarity.
I was kind of, getting the revelations
Mm-hmm.
that I needed to move forward. And now I don't feel like I have to go every single week.
Right, that's good.
I was like, oh no, I have to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I done got on my nerve this week. I have to go.
Right.
I have to go. But now I feel like, okay, I can go every other week.
Right.
And still feel like I'm breathing normally when I get there.
Exactly.
I'm not panicked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
so,
that's good.
Yeah, it was a good thing.
That's good.
How was your week?
It was a week. It was a week. It was just one of those. I mean, it was a typical work week, but it just seemed like everything was just coming on me just like at once.
Right.
And I was just like, oh my goodness. And once I clocked off, I was fine. Of course, but it was a lot. It was just like, and not to toot my own horn, but toot. I kind of okay. So I'm a lead on the team. We have 2 leads on the team.
Okay.
And and where I work, see where I come from, I'm not used to this because I was in supervision, and at my old employer, the supervisor had to know the job. That was just like you had to know the job, and if you didn't know the job,
Right.
you came from the area that was it was like you had to basically know the job. Here it's not the same. So where I'm at now, and it's kind of a good thing, but it's kind of a bad thing. It's like because we deal with a lot, where I work. So, the supervisor can't really always focus on the work, and that's fine. That's why we have 2 leads. But when you have 2 leads and only one of them is doing everything, and then you have a supervisor and
Yeah.
other people above who don't know the job, that
It can be frustrating.
yeah, and it's just like, and so it was bad, and it was just like, I mean, I don't know if I just made myself sick or whatever, but I was just like,
Oh wow.
yeah, I was just like, I was over it, so I took
Yeah.
the last 2 days off. I just needed that clarity, and I feel better. I feel better than, because I was just able just to have just 2 days where I didn't have to focus on work. I was
Yeah. You
working.
need that break. You need that break
Yeah.
every now and then.
Yeah. And and also, And you know how it is too. It's like, we're trying to start businesses. So it's like, I get like, even though I don't bring in any money from, and if I do, it's very little from my website. I enjoy doing the job that I'm not getting paid a lot of money for,
Right,
more
right.
than
So that's like your outlet too.
exactly,
I tell people this
exactly.
all the time when they talk about starting businesses. Sometimes I hear people tell people, well, how much money do you want to make? And I don't believe in starting from that
You
place.
can't.
I believe do what you are passionate about
Right.
because the money will come.
Yeah.
If you're passionate about it, you will keep the commitment about it.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping the commitment and the consistency will bring the finances that you desire.
Right. Yeah.
Sometimes a lot of people, I had said this to somebody just recently. Like, what is the thing that you would do if nobody paid you for it?
Mm-hmm.
What are you so passionate about that you do it for free?
Right.
That's what you should pursue.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's where then the money will come. The Bible has a scripture where it says your gift will make room for you,
Yes.
and I think we kind of don't really put that into a broader perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Do that God given gift,
Right.
the rest will come,
Yeah.
you know.
That is true. Yeah. Because when I first really started getting back into writing and everything, because I've always written, I was always writing. I always,
Mhm.
did that.
Right.
And you didn't hear me. I said I always read, but I kind of.
Oh, but I did, but I just
Okay.
kept going. I
Okay.
kept going.
Okay. See, that's a friend, and that's what we're going to get into. She would have told me about it later on, but not in front of all y'all. I know that.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
So, but that's what we're going to get into with this episode. But I always said that because I had blogs for years. I was on Blogspot,
Mhm.
I was on WordPress.com. When you had the .wordpress, before I was doing all of that. So, and I wasn't making any money. I just loved to write.
I didn't know what I was doing back then. I had a
Yeah.
whole blog,
Mm-hmm.
like I think it was called like Miss Know It All.
Uh-huh.
I had no clue
You
what I was
don't.
doing.
Girl, I was doing
I was
entertainment,
posting pictures from
everything.
like the housewives giving reviews on that's when like the
Yes.
Real Housewives of Atlanta had like just started.
Yeah, I was doing the same thing, girl. Yes.
I had no clue what I was doing.
None. None at all. But it looked good. Like I was like, okay, I feel a little professional now. I'm talking about professional people, but then it got to a point where it was like I got tired of just talking about celebrities. But that's what it
Yeah.
was then.
Yeah.
That's like when reality TV and all that stuff was really popping, and that's what it
Yeah.
seemed like to get attention. That's what you had to do. And then back in 2013, when I actually bought my domain, and I was just like, okay, I'm going to do all
Hmm.
this professionally. I was just like, I want to write about what I want to write about, because if I write about things that I don't really care about, it's not going to be fun to me. It's not going to be something that I'm
Right.
going to want to do.
Sometimes I want to pick up because I try to keep wellness and women specifically focused on wellness,
Right.
mental wellness. What are we going
Mm-hmm.
to, facilitate our personal mental health?
Right.
What are we doing to make sure we're not being, mentally abused? Because sometimes I think a lot of people don't even know they're being,
No, they don't.
manipulated and abused in
Oh,
certain
no.
situations.
Uh-uh.
So, but sometimes I want to branch off and just write a blog
Mm-hmm.
that is nowhere attached to my likeness,
Right.
just about everyday, this is the world kind of stuff. Like every day, everything that's going on,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
And you know what? You can do that because it's your
be it
platform.
politics, you know,
Mm-hmm.
be it just whatever.
Yeah.
Like I just want to write about because there's sometimes I want to post up on wellness and women like almost every day, but it's
Mm-hmm.
not. But the posts are not wellness focused, so I pull
Right.
back
Yeah,
and I don't write them.
yeah, I got you. That makes sense, but the thing about it is, and what I had to realize too, is that you can separate the two, and you can have both on
Yeah.
there. and because I mean, it's your platform. That's what the purpose of being, a content. That's why I say like I'm a content creator, because I'm going to just whatever I feel like creating, that's what I'm going to do.
Right.
That's just the focus. That's just the focus that I have on all of that.
Right.
Yeah. So you do that, girl. You get that, and I mean, because
No, I'm barely listen. You already know
yeah,
me and that webpage.
I know.
I'm doing the best I can.
That's all you can do. That's
I'm
it.
doing the best I can
That
on
is
that
it,
webpage
girl.
because it drives me crazy.
Yeah. I mean, but that's the thing. And especially like when you have, because my mom always tells me, like, you just can't focus on one thing. You got like 50 million, like your mind runs 50 miles per hour, whatever she says is some kind of crazy miles per hour. And I'm just like, yeah, I can't. It's just like because I have so much that I want to do, or
Hmm.
when it just comes to writing, because I like writing so much, it's like I want to write about everything. And I don't, it's like I was telling you last night, I have about 4 or 5, and I have
Oh
more,
yeah.
but I just started like within the past month writing 4 or 5 very good articles, for my blog.
Hmm.
And I can't finish them,
Right.
and it's just like because I can't focus.
Hmm.
So, but I
I
still got to
committed
work on
myself
that.
to three things,
Mm-hmm.
three businesses that I'm just uh, two that I'm actively working on,
Mm-hmm.
one that's next. So, because I did a flow chart,
Okay. Okay. Come on,
and then I
flowchart.
listed those things in like what would come in what order.
Right.
So I'm only focusing on one, two, and three. That's it.
That, you know what?
Because you will get to the point where you're like, oh, I'm trying to do everything at one time.
Yeah, you do.
And I'm not assisting people anymore who don't want active assistance.
You can't. You can't waste your time on stuff like that. I've learned that the hard way,
No, because people will come to you and be like, oh, well, what do you think I should do about this? What do you
Mm-hmm.
think I should do about this? But then actively fight you
Mm-hmm.
on every decision or every opinion you give. Well, you do not want my opinion.
Right.
So now
Apparently.
to those people, I just say, I don't know. What do you think?
Right. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I
And you
could
have to be
have
like that.
excellent ideas
Yeah.
that you could, and I'm a person who gives out ideas for free.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a person who's charging. And I see now that it is a God given gift that I could look at something and say, you could just tweak
Mm-hmm.
this, this, and that, and you will see a better outcome.
Right.
And I'll tell you, I don't have a problem telling anybody for free. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not charging you 1997, 37.97. I don't know where they get them numbers from anyway, but I'm not I'm not doing that. But
Right.
if you fight me on every decision, I'm not
Mm.
going to help you.
No, you can't.
No, I had to stop doing that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
today,
Today, girl. So that's where we're going
we're
today.
going to talk about
What we talking about?
friendship.
Yes. And
Genuine, good old fashioned friendship.
yeah. And it just seems so, it seems like, because let me tell you, I got to give credit to my girl, Kisha, because she's the one that she's been, just knocking them out. I can't even front on that. And she came up with all these questions, and I was just like, dang, I was like, the thing about it is, it's like, the answers,
Mm-hmm.
but it's hard to put into words. And then when you put it
Right.
into words, you're just like, well, dang,
Oh,
maybe that's not, it's just either makes you
maybe that
think.
person is not my friend.
Exactly. And then it just takes you all the way back to what
Yeah.
is a friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the older, and we'll get into this, but I think the older that we get, obviously, the definition changes. I mean, of course.
Because I asked a couple of people,
Mm-hmm.
like, do you think we're too old to make friends? Like,
Mm-hmm.
because I told you once I threw the questions out there,
Yeah.
I was like, normally I have my notebook and I prepare my answers.
Mm-hmm.
But this week I was like, no, I'm not
Yeah.
going to do that.
Not gonna do it.
We're going
Yeah.
to let it be organic. So I think
Yeah.
last night I went back
Mm-hmm.
and looked at the questions, still
Mm-hmm.
didn't write them down,
Right.
but went back and looked at them. so I could ask other people like what they
Okay.
thought. And so I did get a couple of answers like, oh, no, I don't think we're too old to make new friends.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and a great answer. So you go ahead with the questions because I got a great answer about coworkers.
Okay, yeah, and I got some stuff to say about that one as well. But trust me. But yeah, well, okay, so I'm just gonna throw out the questions, and like I told Keisha, I'll just throw out the questions that she came up with, and then I'll give my little 2 cents, and then she'll throw hers in there. So that's how we're going to do that. Okay, so what really makes someone your friend? And this one was the very first one that she sent. And I was just like, in general, you just think about it and you're just like, well, just someone who is there for you, someone who you can talk to, someone who listens to you. I mean, that seems very basic. But then when you really sit down and think about it, yeah, it's all those things. But to me, it's just knowing that one person or those few people or whoever that that you can go to for anything. And I'm not talking about material things. I'm not talking about financial things. I'm just talking about you can just go to them for if you're having a bad day. You don't even have to talk to them. You could just send them a text and be like, girl, make me laugh. Tell me something funny. You know what I mean? It's just like someone who you can just go to,
Right.
when you're feeling bad
To
or when
lift
you're
your
feeling good.
spirits.
Yeah, to lift your spirits. And of course, it's more than that. You know what I mean? It's not about who, because I would say like maybe even 10 years ago, I would call someone a friend who, I could go out with, which that is true, but that's what my focus was. Like, if we can't hang out, then, I can't consider you a friend. And that's not necessarily true because a lot of friends that I have found out that I do really truly have, I haven't seen physically in years.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's a very I mean, it really made me think about that one. So, what do you think really makes someone your friend?
Something you just said. So it sounds like friendship, the definition of friendship changes as we evolve.
Yes, definitely.
Because, like you said, 10 years ago, you would have said someone who I can hang out with,
Mm-hmm.
someone who I can spend time with, someone who I can go to the club with,
Right.
somebody who I can kick it with.
Right.
But that's not your definite friendship anymore.
Exactly.
Now, your definite friendship would be, like you said, you have people who you consider to be your friend. You haven't seen them in years.
Mm-hmm.
So that would definitely, mean, and I think the same goes for me.
Mm-hmm.
But truthfully, friendship has always meant being dependable
Oh,
to me.
yes, definitely.
And not necessarily just something I'm asking for, but something
Mm-hmm.
I give.
Right.
You know, I honestly think people expect me to be dependable.
Oh, yeah.
Don't do that.
Right.
Not that kind of dependability, but just when I call, are you going to answer?
Yeah.
Because I always answer.
Mm-hmm.
So, can I get it in return?
Right. And you know what? And that goes to I want to stop right there because this goes into another question, and it was a video that you sent me,
Mm-hmm.
and what you said right there really goes into it. And then if you want to, I want you to go back and elaborate on
Mm-hmm.
what we were talking about. But that video that you sent me, that lady, and basically what I got from it is what what do you do when you feel like you're the only one in the friendship that's making an effort or whatever? I mean, what do you do with that? Because I've been in those, quote unquote friendships before
Mm-hmm.
where it felt like I was the only one. Like I let somebody come in and stay with me, when I was in the process of moving, so it was like, it was a stressful time for me. But me being a friend, I was like, okay, yeah, you could stay here for, the few months that I'm left here, whatever. And, then you just got to figure it out after that. But
Right.
the entire time it was some BS going on.
Right.
And, not only that, like, and it can even be just something as simple as Like, you just call me when you need something, but you think that's a friendship. But when I call you, like you said, you're not answering the phone or you're not returning a text. Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, I missed that. I'm sorry. But, if I don't answer your call or something like that, or if I don't sit there and listen to you on the phone for about 3 or 4 hours, then, I'm not a good friend. So how do you feel? Because that seems like what you were getting to is when you feel like you're the only person in the friendship that is making the effort.
Cut them hoes wide off.
I
You want me to
mean,
tell the truth?
that part. That's what you have to do.
I have been accused of being. See, this is where the lines get blurred. Because see, people think because you are a Christian and because you love God,
right?
and I do curse a little bit.
Yeah,
that don't take away from the fact that I love Jesus.
Not at all. Okay. Yes.
But I have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. It don't take away from it.
That's what matters. That's all that matters. Right.
See, people gonna try you. They're gonna try you. And I will have to honestly say that I really don't believe in that whole match energy stuff. Because I think sometimes I do overgive. Like, but we all have a breaking point.
Yeah.
Everybody has a line in the sand.
Yeah.
When you have just had enough, stop.
Right.
And be honest with yourself. First of all, we got to stop lying to ourselves about how people feel about us.
Yeah, number one.
Now, we talking about friendships, but this equation works in relationships too.
Yeah, because I mean,
be honest. I'm just really I be trying to say stuff and not sound like a bitch, because I know that I will be accused of being such.
But but it's real though. People can't take real, but that's just the type of person that you are.
But you've got to protect you at all costs. And I'm telling you as a person who has spent my life people pleasing.
Right.
You have got to protect you at all costs. Because I'm going to tell you, a life of people pleasing has put me in not pleasant situations. It has brought me, not pleasant circumstances in life.
Right.
And I will tell anybody, because I don't want you to be in my situation, or do not let people take advantage of you.
Yeah.
Do not just keep saying yes when you want to say no. When you see every time you go out to eat with that girl, you always paying the bill, stop going out to eat with her.
Right.
When the man comes, say separate checks.
Yeah.
Like, we got to stop this. Because sometimes we complain like, oh, is this person being a real friend to me? Why are they doing this to me? Why are they doing this to me? You letting them.
And they're going to keep
You're
doing
allowing it.
Yeah.
And what has happened with most of us are set up to be people pleasers. And a lot of it comes from our childhood.
Right.
And so if you are a person who is a people pleaser, and every time somebody asks you to do something, you say yes, and you really want to say no. And then you feel guilty. Because see, that's the other side of being a people pleaser. When you honestly say no, even though you know you should, now you feel guilty.
Yeah. That's true.
You ain't did nothing wrong. But acknowledge the fact that you're being taken advantage of by this person.
Right.
That this person is only there to get something from you. They don't want an equal friendship with you. They don't want to be there for you when you need them. They only want you to be there for them.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to call that for what it is. And you got to say, this is not for me. And it's okay to look at, again, this equation works for relationships as well as friendships. It's okay to look at a situation and say, this is not necessarily serving me.
Right. You have to be selfish when it comes to your well-being. I'm sorry. I don't give a dang how nobody feels about it. You have to be selfish when it comes to that.
Like this is not pouring into me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you know. And
Yeah.
you might have a person who's down on their luck, because sometimes I say this to people based on about relationships. Treat people good regardless,
Yeah.
but also know like, this is enough.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta go.
Yeah.
I can't do this anymore.
Right.
And that's okay, but still treat them good, because you're sowing good seed and you will reap that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that will come. You know, what you sow, you will reap it.
Right.
You know, I tell people that all the time. It's not just a biblical principle, it is a principle in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever seed you put in the ground, it's going to grow.
Right.
So if you are out here sowing genuine friendship to people, you will get it. Now, you may not necessarily get it from the person you've been giving it to,
Mm-hmm.
but it will come.
Right. Yeah.
It will come.
It will come, definitely.
And what was the next question?
Let's see. So let's go back to because I kind of skipped around with that one.
No, you're fine.
Okay. So the next one was what are, and I guess we kind of touched on this one as well, but what are the characteristics of a friend? Like, what do you find that, you look for in a true friend? And, I think one of the main things for me, and you hit this, is dependability. Can I depend on you?
Yeah.
And that's really all at this point right now. And I heard somebody say this before. I can't remember who it was, but how can you contribute to my happiness, my stability, and that goes into the selfishness of it all, but it's like I have to take care of myself first and foremost.
Right.
If I'm not happy, if I don't feel that I'm getting this, from a friendship or a relationship or anything like that, then I'm going to be incomplete, and then I'm going to be bringing my incomplete self to the relationship.
Right.
So, what
And I
can you
just
do?
think about people who are saying that they're genuinely your friends.
Mm-hmm.
They should want to see you happy.
That's number one. That's what
They
you would
should be
think.
participating. I think you used the word participate.
Mm-hmm.
They should be just how you want to participate in your own happiness.
Mm-hmm.
They should support that.
Yeah.
Why would I even look? I have a friend
Mm-hmm.
who, at times, does allow people to take advantage of her.
Right.
But I see that. She
Mm-hmm.
and I, we have, in-depth conversations about it.
Right.
But as a friend, why would I participate in it?
Yeah.
I think a friend wants to participate in your well-being. Like, they want to see you do well. They want to see you do better.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Not the person who sees other people taking advantage of you and says, shit, I'm gonna ask her to do something for me.
Yeah. Oh,
no.
yeah.
No.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be
Like,
careful.
shit, let me make friends with this one too. Shoot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, let me get her to she did that for so and so. Let me see if she'll do it for me. Like,
Right.
no.
And
and that's what you see. A lot of people are latching on to good people.
Mm-hmm. I was just getting ready to say
the
that.
life out of them.
Yes. Listen. Mm-hmm.
Sucking the life out of them.
Yeah.
And what does that honestly say about you as a person?
Right. And let me tell you, that's happened to me a couple times. And, and it was just like, and I mean, and it really, like, when I snapped out of it, I was just like, what the hell is wrong with you? And, and every time I come across a meme or something like that, and I see it because I really truly feel it, because I've experienced it, but sometimes you had to hold yourself accountable. Sometimes you had to basically say, you were a dumbass. You know what I mean? And, and
I have had to say to her, I don't say she's a dumbass. I don't use that term.
That's for myself,
I have
girl.
had to say to her, like,
mm-hmm.
we need to be honest about what's going on here. You
Right.
are the problem.
Yeah.
So
And a lot of
how
people don't realize that.
can we address, you know, why do you feel the need
Mm-hmm.
to continue in a space with people
Right.
and you see what they're doing?
Yeah.
It says something about you,
It comes down to you. Yeah.
you know. And that's where we have to, and this is why I say to people, be careful with people.
Mm-hmm.
Because what I'm noticing about 40-year-old us,
Mm-hmm.
45-year-old us, even 50-year-old us is um a lot of what we are today,
Mm-hmm.
and this might be all people, but I'm just talking about the people that I know, like the age bracket that I deal in,
Right.
is a lot of these behaviors that we have, and it's like childhood trauma,
Mm-hmm.
like real talk, like
Yeah.
just real talk.
Yeah.
It's just some of us don't even know how to be friends. Some of
Mm-hmm.
us don't know how to be husbands. We don't
Mm-hmm.
know how to be wives.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we just don't know because we watched people have ineffective relationships,
Right.
and then we grew up to mimic those ineffective
And you think
relationships.
it's normal. That's
We
the thing.
watched people ineffectively raise us emotionally,
Mm-hmm.
and then people have gone off and had children, and now you're ineffectively raising your kids emotionally,
Right.
or because you know that you didn't, quote unquote, maybe have appreciated the way you were raised, or didn't like the discipline you received, you have decided to not discipline your kids at all, and now everybody's running hog wild.
Mm-hmm.
All of these poor decisions we are making are embedded in childhood trauma.
Yes.
And I probably got, I mean, 5 friends. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, real talk. Like, I just, it's, you got to be careful who you keep around you.
Oh yeah.
You got to make sure the people that you keep close to you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm talking about 5 inner circle people,
Right.
because I ain't never met a stranger,
Mm-hmm.
honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But you've got to be careful of the people that you keep close to you, because you just want healed people close to you,
Yes.
or at least people who are working on healing.
Mm-hmm. Because don't you notice, like, if you constantly hang around someone who's negative all the time or who has BS going on all the time, you kind of end up in that too. It's just like everything you talk about is negative now. It's just like everything that you get involved in is dramified. I don't know if that's a word or not. It sounded right.
It's
So,
our word now.
okay, I like it. But, but I mean, that is true. That is very true because
People who I'm definitely, who give me pause, Danielle.
who's that?
People who give me pause are people who are not accountable for their actions.
We
Like
could do
people
a
who
whole
I
show on
watch,
that, girl.
like
Oh.
people who I watch, and it just made, and because you talked about drama, and you
Mm-hmm.
know, don't you get pulled in?
Mm-hmm.
I pay close attention, and I'm gonna hold anybody accountable.
Right.
And if you don't like it, you'll probably will stop talking to me, and I don't care.
I mean, it is what it is.
That's one thing I don't care about,
Yeah.
because I'm hard on myself.
Mm-hmm. That's what I told somebody
Um,
before. I was like, "You think I'm an ass?" I was like, "You should hear the things that I say to myself." Like
exactly.
you don't even want to do that. But anyway.
Yeah, like I'm very hard on myself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'm not going to be as hard on you as I am on me, but I'm going to make sure that I hold you accountable like I hold me accountable.
Exactly.
Um, I give pause to people who do stuff or talk about people who do other stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and then they do the same thing.
Yep.
And immediately, the first thing I do is I pray and I say, God, please keep me aware.
Mm-hmm.
Please keep me aware of every single thing I'm doing.
Right.
Please continue to help me hold myself accountable.
Mm-hmm.
And it happens, I can see when I'll say something, and he'll be like, "You just did that 2 days ago,"
Mm-hmm.
and I shut up.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
then I feel like I don't have a dog in this fight, so I shut up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I stay away from people like that because
Yeah.
they will pull you in their drama,
Mm-hmm. Every time.
and you will come up with simple solutions for them to get out of the drama. And
Mm-hmm.
see, that's how you know that they still want to be in it.
Oh yeah.
If I lead you to a simple path to say, all you got to do is this, if this is really what the outcome you want.
Mm-hmm.
But when you see that they're not doing those things, they like the drama.
Oh yeah.
And now I don't want to be around you.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I really look out for now is if you thrive off of drama, if your life is just if everything you do just circles around drama because there are tons of people like that at every age. I can't deal with it. I immediately just back up. I'm like, nope, because I don't need that. I do
Yeah.
not need that.
Some people just love it.
Yeah,
And
they can't function
again,
without
you
it.
keep those people back.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the people that you will probably have to end up offering counsel to in a friendship, because everybody
Yeah.
needs somebody to listen to, and you ain't got to listen to them every day,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
But if you might have to take their call once a
Mm,
week
right. Yeah.
and offer a listening ear.
Yeah. Because I mean, you know that something's wrong. You've
Yeah.
been there with them. You know something's wrong. You know it's deeper than what they're
Hmm.
projecting. So, yeah.
Hmm. And again, because you want to keep the healed people close to you,
Mm-hmm.
you know, keep the other people at bay a little bit.
Right. Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You have to keep people back from you, because
Right.
this world is already rough enough.
Oh yeah.
We're dealing with so much stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing you want to do is, you know, bring on other people trouble,
Oh yeah, for sure.
and they damn sure be ready to hand it to you.
Oh yeah. Yeah. On a damn silver platter, on a platinum platter, girl. They be ready.
They be damn sure ready to give it to you,
Yeah,
okay?
and not blink twice. Be like, here you go. See what I
Like
did?
it's yours.
Yeah, see what I did for you?
Like
Oh,
it's your problem.
girl. Okay, so next question is this is a good one. How many friends do you have from childhood?
Oh, let's see. So, friends can be people that you don't talk to every day, right?
Right, of course.
So, that would definitely be, I would have to say Sparkle would be because I knew Sparkle in fourth grade.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be with the regular characters: Sparkle, Bart, Tamara, Danielle, Michael, Aaron. I think that would be like the list I would go by.
Right.
And I'm sure there are more people who I went to high
Yeah,
school with,
right. But
you
just off the
know.
top of your head, you can just be
But
like,
those are the people that, you know, I talk to.
right.
And then at this point, college is almost like childhood because we
Mm-hmm.
old.
Yeah.
Like,
And we were still kids,
so
girl. I don't
it's
give
a
a
whole
dang.
gang of them.
Oh yeah. Heck
You
yeah.
know.
I would say that I made quite a few more friends in college. And I think it was just because who I actually consider friends, and I think it was just because it was people just from different not backgrounds but different
Mm-hmm.
um just not like people who we were used to being around who did what we
And you didn't have
did.
to conform. See, when we were in high school,
Mm-hmm.
they put you in a box.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Everybody was in a box.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, this group is this group is
Right.
this group is this.
Right.
So, but when you got to college, you could be yourself.
Yeah,
Everybody could.
because we all were trying to find ourselves at the same time, and then once you felt more
Yeah.
comfortable with yourself, then you could open up more. So yeah.
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 And you didn't, I mean, because these people don't know you when you go to college.
Mm-hmm.
So you could be, you were, because I felt it. You felt more relaxed.
Mm-hmm. You did. You really
And I
did.
went to school with somebody who I went to high school with.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Shay went to Central State together.
Right. Weren't y'all roommates?
Yes, we were
Yeah.
roommates.
Mm-hmm.
So, and even when we were there, like Kurt, Dre, Steve, like they would come down.
Right.
And like visit. So we still had, people we were around, people we knew.
Yeah.
But it was just more relaxed.
Mm-hmm. You
Your
didn't feel like
parents wasn't there. It was just
it
was just calm.
Yeah.
And you could just be. I felt like then I was my most authentic self.
Gotcha. Yeah.
In college.
That makes sense. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, let me see. I think I have, let's see. Let me see. Definitely, let me see.
You're still friends with everybody. Stop now. You're friends with all the people you went to Clinton with.
Pretty much.
Where'd you go to elementary school?
Oakland Park. Pretty
you
much,
friends
yeah.
With them.
Yeah.
You still friends with the people who we went to high school with?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're friends with everybody still.
Pretty much. And you know what? And I think we talked about this before, is because I can, I'll take our friendship, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in high school, we knew each other. We were super cool. We
mm-hmm.
hung out every now and then, but we weren't tight.
No, we didn't But so we had what I would consider, this is going to sound so crazy, like a working relationship.
That's what,
Junior year, Michael Aaron was class president.
Mm-hmm.
I was the vice president. I think you might have been like the secretary or the treasurer.
Yeah, I can't even remember. I think I was a secretary, I think.
And so then I think senior year,
uh-huh,
I was a class president.
Right.
Michael Aaron was a vice president. I think he was a secretary again. So we were together in that aspect.
Right.
And freshman year, we were on a basketball team together.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah,
Yeah, so it's if,
we didn't have any issues with each other.
None. And still to this day, none. And it's just so someone like you, someone like Michael Aaron, look, there we go again, Michael Aaron, that's his first name. I tell him all the time. Even and you even mentioned a couple of these people too, who Tamara, I've known Tamara since elementary school. So that goes back to you saying that I have all my friends from elementary school.
I told you.
Yeah. Bart was one of my closest friends. We went to prom together. So it's just, yeah, we did. Yeah. So, it's just like people like that. And even these are people who, the last time I saw Bart and Tamara was probably in 2005 or 6, when we all were still hanging around and things like that. So it's been a long time since I physically seen them, but I know those are two people that if I were to call right now, I could call them and, yeah. So it's just that's who I would really consider a friend.
I feel like school people, we are really still friends. We're
we
family.
Are.
We had that episode and it rings true because I'm going to tell you. When I had surgery on my leg in 2012.
Right.
It was January the 17th of 2012 to be exact.
Yeah.
I had my surgery at Ohio State University Hospital. I had my birthday at the hospital.
I remember you telling me about that. Yeah, I remember that.
Bart came to the hospital.
See?
Bart, his sister, his niece, his nephew, maybe his nephew. I don't think his niece was there. But him and his sister and his nephew came to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And we had cupcakes in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a whole birthday party in the hospital and he showed up.
See?
So yeah,
it's just little things like that. And it may not seem because some people may look at that oh, well, that's what your friend's supposed to do. No. You know what I mean? But that takes it above and beyond, and that just shows the type of person that he and his family are.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And
So.
again, like I've known him since sixth grade.
Mm-hmm.
Like his sister is probably the reason I went to a HBCU because she went.
Right.
And she always told us about how, good it was. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I know
Yep.
she had, which I ain't heard too many people talk about going to the HBCU and not the financial aid issues. Like that's a joke. That's like the running joke. The aid
Yeah.
is coming.
That's
It's
everywhere.
there.
I took a couple classes at Columbus State, which is the community college here in Columbus, and it doesn't matter where you go. I know it's a joke at HBCUs because I mean, come on now, we know what that's
Right.
about. But I mean, and it is a pain
But
in
it
the
happens
ass. It
everywhere.
happens everywhere.
I think
But yeah,
people
it's
just
the
like
truth.
to highlight it when it happens to us.
Exactly. That's what it is. That's why I
Right.
just laugh at it because I'm like, yeah, it happens everywhere, but yeah, it does happen at HBCUs too,
Mm-hmm. So what about coworkers? How many coworker friends do you have?
Let's see. I don't have many.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this: okay, I have a few, and two, maybe three in particular. I have, and the crazy thing is, we started at my first like quote unquote real job together, like 20 some years
Mm-hmm.
ago, like when I came home from school, basically. Um, we started this the same job and everything like that, and to this day, we are still super cool. And these are like two people for sure who like I mean anything and maybe the thing too is like we became close friends when we were still in our early 20s, and we were growing up together and we've been through life challenges together, and finishing school and programs, we've been through everything together, changing jobs, and
Right.
one of the friends, she's been married and divorced, and now she's remarried and she's super happy. So it's just like, all these different life changes, have happened with us, like and they're both a few years older than us, but still, we
Okay.
all grew up, pretty much together and became adults together, I would say. So definitely those two. I would say that maybe I would give about maybe four other people, and that's like from all the jobs that I've had. I would say like a total of six coworkers who I can actually call on and say, "This is my friend." Like like I can depend on them. I would definitely say at least six, maybe seven. I'll give it that. But yeah, it's I think that you can make friends with coworkers,
Yeah, you
but
can.
I will say this, and I know you're going to touch on this too. I don't trust a lot of my coworkers. So I can be friendly with you. Some of them may think we're friends. I can be friendly with you, but I'm watching you, and that's all I got to say about that.
So my coworker comment is about, of course, I had to ask some people.
Yeah.
I asked somebody who is who was in a supervisory role.
Mm-hmm.
They've been at the same job for like going on maybe 13 years.
Okay.
And I said, "Are you friends with your coworkers?" And she said, "Well, yeah, I can't believe in being friends with my coworkers." I
Mm-hmm.
said, "Oh, really? That's interesting." She said, "Well, this is the thing though. I have different sections of coworkers that I'm friends with."
That part right there. But go ahead. That's
She
it.
said,
That's it.
"I'm friends with this group.
Mm-hmm.
I'm friends with another group."
Mm.
I see it. It said two groups are.
Okay.
So two groups are not friends with each other.
Okay.
So she said, so you have to ask people this because some people are just like surface level friends with their with their
Mm.
coworkers. I said, or are you like tell these people your business kind of friends? And she said, no, we tell each other our business. Like we've been friends for years. So with one group of them, yes, like we're
Yeah.
friends. Like I do
Mm-hmm.
tell them my business, they know things about my personal life. I know things about their personal life. But with the other group, that might be to just, oh, let's go out to dinner. Let's
Right.
let's go grab a drink or
Mm-hmm.
let's go do lunch. Like,
Yeah. Like
sometimes you gotta break it up.
you do. You really
You have to
do.
break it up.
Yeah.
But I am my work husband.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's what I call my work husband.
Yeah.
Even though I don't work at that place anymore,
Uh-huh.
we've still been friends for, oh Lord, um, gosh, maybe 7 years,
Okay.
8 years. So like,
Yeah.
that's still my friend.
Yeah,
And that's
definitely.
my joke. Like, I call it my work husband. But
Yeah, we'd be on the phone and she'd be like, "Oh, girl, this is my work husband. Hold on." I'd be
my
like,
work
"Okay,
husband. Like, I
girl."
call you.
Like, "All right, girl." But I love
But
it though.
he is, and I count him to be a real friend because,
Definitely,
and
yeah.
he's much older than I am,
Mm-hmm.
but he has like taught me a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, taught me just a lot of stuff about relationships. Gives me a great perspective from a male's point of view.
Yeah.
Um, and is like you said, he's dependable.
Mm-hmm.
He's dependable. If I need something done at Nana's house,
Mm-hmm.
he'll go do it. If I need something done here, he'll come. Like he's hands down
Yeah.
dependable. So he's an amazing friend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You
so
know,
and I
he
mean,
taught me a valuable lesson about relationships and
uh-huh.
about friendship in the same, and it should be said.
Yeah.
He said, um, it was me, him, and another coworker in my office, and he said, Keisha, you and the person you're in a relationship with, like the two of y'all have got to be best friends.
Mm-hmm.
He said, because if you're not best friends, it's not gonna work.
That's so true.
He said, I mean, y'all gotta have inside jokes with each other. Y'all should be able to be out in public and look across the room and y'all see something and, give each other that look and kind of
Mm-hmm.
just, go on. He said, but if you don't, really care for that person and really enjoy that person,
Yeah.
it's not gonna work.
No. That is so true.
And I really take that to heart too,
Mm-hmm.
and it made me look at things differently. And it made me assess situations like, not only do I enjoy the person, but does the person enjoy me? Like,
Right. It has to be both ways. Yeah.
yeah, you gotta really like kind of pay attention to stuff. And it
Mm-hmm.
was good to again hear it from a man. Because
Yeah.
oftentimes women think we know. We don't be knowing what men be thinking unless you ask a man.
Not a clue. Not a clue.
We be guessing.
Yeah, be just thinking because we know everything we do,
Yeah, you
but
don't want to listen. God
yeah,
forbid you have to listen to an actual man tell you
exactly.
what men actually think.
Yeah.
Because you'll be somewhere trying to tell him, nah, because that don't make no sense.
Right.
It ain't gonna make sense.
It ain't gonna make sense to you. Exactly. We're different for a reason. I mean, it's just like you could be as hardcore as you want to. You are never going to be able to think like a man. I'm sorry.
You're not.
Mm-mm.
And I don't know. We'll talk about that another day. I don't know why that bothers people so much. Like, why does it bother you so much? Never mind.
Write that
Then I'm
down.
gonna
We'll
get
pause
talked
on
about.
that. Yeah.
I'm gonna let it go.
Because the girl, we can go on and on about that as well.
I seen a girl let her boyfriend do her whole head.
Oh.
I mean, down to shampoo it, blew it dry, flat ironed it.
Uh-huh.
And I thought to myself, so you want a home girl? Like, what you? I don't know what is going on in these new relationships.
It's a lot. It's different. It's really different.
Like Super said, I want my man to know how to change oil and like put carburetors in. Like, why y'all want to? It's like I don't know what's happening no more.
It's like a lot of gender nonconformity. That's what I think it is. I think that a lot of these younger people are coming into relationships and they're just like, we're just going to be together. There's nothing established.
And that's cool, but if you're forcing it on him.
Yeah, that's the thing I don't like.
That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like I don't even really believe anymore that people, this goes for friendships too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe we know what we want sometimes.
Right.
Especially if you're putting your whole life in front of a camera.
Mm-hmm.
If you're recording every single thing that you're doing.
Right.
I don't really think you know what you want.
You don't. You want an audience. You want approval.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
I
all you
think you
want.
do everything you do for reaction,
Mm-hmm.
for likes,
Yeah.
for attention. Like,
And
if
see,
all you do is record it,
we didn't come up like that.
no.
So it's just like, it's weird to us, but it's normal
How do
to
you have a
them.
genuine relationship? Like,
Exactly.
even when people, it's like, how are you genuinely enjoying life? I
Yeah.
had a whole birthday party. We didn't take out one phone.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird.
It's weird.
We
Mm-hmm.
can't eat without you taking a picture of your food.
Mm-mm.
I mean, it's weird a little bit.
No. And it's like everything
We
has to be
can't
put out
dance
there.
without you taking a picture of your dance. Like, I mean, it's we can't sing happy birthday without you recording it.
No, and it takes away from the intimacy of the event that you're at. That's what it does. When you bring other people into it, because that's what you're doing. You're bringing outside. You're bringing even people who you're around physically. You're bringing people who just follow you, who don't know you, who don't know these people. You're bringing them into this environment. Now, it's different if something goes viral. That's different because, you can't control that. But just to be like, hey, we out here and, I'm with my family and, or you in the hospital and you holding, your dying grandparents' hand, and all this other stuff. And you take a picture and, I mean, that's it. Come on now.
I was raised by an old country woman from West Virginia, from
Listen,
Charleston, West Virginia.
same here,
And
girl.
as she liked to tell you, she was raised on a hill. And she did not play nobody being in her business. She 82 years old and she still don't play
Still
it. And
like
she'll
that.
tell us in a minute, don't put me on that internet.
Listen.
Don't put me on that internet. Y'all gonna get on there and tell the folk all y'all business.
Listen, girl, I had to stop posting, like saying, because, like I'll give my family, even if they're not on Facebook, a happy birthday shout out. Just give them a shout out, give them some love, of course. My grandma told us to stop doing that because she doesn't want certain people reaching out to her. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, like, I mean,
they don't play that. They want their
grandma didn't
privacy.
even used to let us sit in the front of her house.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know how people sit on the porch?
Yeah.
She'd be like, I'm closing this up. Go on, come around to the back. That's what I'm out here for.
Right.
Letting all these folks see y'all sitting all out here. Come on around to this back.
Uh-huh.
She ain't like, I didn't, that's why I say I was not raised up in look at me.
Me either. And I'm still like that. That's why I'm like that to this day. Like I'm not really big on pictures. People know that about me. I don't really like a lot of attention on me at all. I never like that. People think I'm shy. I'm not. I just don't like all the attention on me. I'm just because I wasn't raised that way to be the center of attention. You know what I mean?
My grandmother, she ain't never. Now my mother, she a different story. She wants you to take her picture every 60 seconds. Okay? But that's them Pisces. That's them March.
Yeah, she can't help that.
Them Pisces, they love themselves. Okay?
Yeah, she can't help that, Miss Constance.
But my grandmother did not raise us like that.
Right, yeah.
Now, I will say this, when she was raising her kids, we do got photo albums where it was Easter or like Thanksgiving. She would make them stand together.
Oh, yeah.
My mom would have her little dress spread with her little white gloves.
Okay.
Like, but they was children.
That was memories.
Yeah, but as when she started raising me,
Wasn't having none of that.
I'll be hanging all out in front of this house. But she knew you young, you sitting on the porch.
Yeah, just chilling.
Niggas are stopping by with their cars and stuff.
Right.
Get around into the back. Because she see one car stop, you got to go to the back.
Okay, because she knew whatever was going on.
She already knew what it was.
Yeah.
Nope. Get in the backyard.
I'm like, dang, why'd you have to stop? Now I got to go to the back. She about to come out here. Right.
You have to go in the whole house now.
Okay.
No.
Just because you wanted to stop by. Like yeah, that's true though. Yep.
Girl. It's just different now.
It is different. It is different the way you had to look at things. I mean, and we're talking about, like, this is focused on friendships, but as she has said, as Kisha has said, it goes with relationships too. Now
Yeah.
I'm not in a relationship, so I'm focused more on the friendship right now. But it's just like, yeah, I mean, you need to take the same way that I would take my friendships, I would take into a relationship, especially at the
Yeah.
beginning. I mean, and
Yeah.
like you said, you had to be best friends throughout it too. So I
Absolutely.
shouldn't say at the beginning, throughout the whole
Hmm.
thing.
Throughout
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ciao. Well,
Well, I think we had an amazing show.
yeah, this was cute. This was cute. This was a good
Hmm.
topic. Good questions. We didn't get to a couple questions, but they kind of were answered. So I'm not really
Right.
worried about that. Just so I'm not really we don't really stick to the specific question and answer. It's cute to think about doing, but we just get on talking
Y'all
about
heard
one
enough.
thing. Yeah, y'all heard enough. Y'all got it. So. But as always, we'd like to thank you again for tuning in to episode 5 of Girl, You Know What. So, again, I am Danielle.
That's your name. It's okay.
There we go. That is my name, and I did say that in the very first episode. So, I'm trying to still get used to using my professional name, but it is what it is.
It's okay.
This has been Danielle.
I'm sorry. And Kisha.
Oh,
Y'all
so
just have a good week.
just have a good week. That's it. Yeah, we'll get our lives together one day. Well, at least me. So, all right. Have a good week, y'all.
All
Bye.
right.
Bye.
Bye.